Aliens came out in 1986, and boy, did they do better than the original film Alien, which came out in 1979. I'm a storyteller, and I'm going to go through the key moments of Aliens and show you how it was different and how I was able to attach more to the characters in this film compared to the original one that came out 7 years prior. So, aliens, in the beginning of this one, it's the second in the series, we find Ripley. So, we left Ripley in this incubator at the end of the last film, and she's found. And when she wakes up, we realize that 57 years have passed. We realize that Ripley was out in space for such a long time, and we were lucky that she was found. And as this story unfolds, Ripley had a 10-year-old daughter, right? She was supposed to be back for her birthday, but that daughter has lived a full life thinking that her mom is lost in space or was killed. And her daughter actually had died the year before Ripley was found at age 67. She lived a full life, and Ripley didn't get a chance to be her mother. And so we attach to Ripley as someone who experiences loss for something that she could never control. And we also see that Ripley is experiencing night terrors, right? She has PTSD from her experience in the first film. She wakes up thinking that there's this alien that she's going to birth into the world because she had seen that so many times. And she's someone who just wants to live a normal life. She actually goes out and gets a job on Earth, and she wants to be away from that whole thing. She wants to start new, but she can't. Right? There is now a colony out on that planet, a colony of about 60 families. And we get to see that colony. And we get to see that colony interact with the aliens early on for just a few moments. And a new exploratory team is sent off to, to go and rescue the survivors of that colony or to figure out what's going on there. Because we don't know what's going on in the colony in present day. All we know is that there were a bunch of aliens there. There were 60 families, and now there's no signal coming from that colony anymore. The people who are going hire Ripley because of her previous experience with these aliens. And we see that Ripley is given the opportunity to head and face on this trauma that she experienced, to go and kind of end, or there's an opportunity for her to make right what she left behind on that planet, knowing full well that the people who were there are probably already dead. The storytellers who created Aliens use this reveal suspense cycle that we're used to from the first film, but they add this character story. And so that's one of the reasons that I attach so well with this film compared to the first one, is that we know Ripley now. We know what she wants. We know her problems because they set that up early in the film. And then as we move through the different stages of this film, we see Ripley more clearly. We see her interactions and her camaraderie and the kindness between her and the leader of the Marine unit that goes with them. We see Ripley go from someone who has night terrors to someone who can confront the aliens. We see someone who has lost her daughter find an orphan and care for her like a mother. We see those motherly instincts come out throughout this entire film. And so that's why I attached to Ripley. And for me, that's why I had a more emotional response moving through this film compared to Alien. While I'm at it, Ripley's 5-second moment of change is when she is with the little girl, and she tells her, "I will protect you no matter what. I will never leave you alone. And they're actually having this kind of down moment where Ripley's trying to get the little girl to go to sleep. But that commitment is Ripley's commitment to ensuring the survival of the little girl. And so we see her actually have to jump into really horrible situations so that she can fulfill that obligation that she sets with the little girl. But again, just like in the first film, she saved the cat. We know her kind-hearted nature. We know that she is a mother who lost her child, and that this child needs her support. This child needs the one thing that only Ripley can give in this scenario. The stakes on this film are so much greater than they were in the first film. In the first film, the humans are hunting an alien. The alien's trying to survive, right? They're hunting a monster. In the second film, we quickly find out that they think that they're going to hunt an alien. They think they're going on a rescue mission, but everything flips, and the humans are now the ones being hunted by all the aliens who have set up nests and within their colony and whatnot. And so these, I don't know how many people are in this film, but all of them are, they think they're going for a rescue mission, but they're actually in this situation where the stakes, like the total number of aliens, are way greater. And we find out that they don't have enough guns, they don't have the skills to make it out, but they are able to be clever. One of the things that is a really lovely link between the two films is this new android that has come along. In the first film, the android, his name was Ash. He betrayed Ripley and the entire crew. He was on a secret mission. In this one, Ripley doesn't trust the android. Ripley kind of keeps him at arm's length, but the group decides that the android is trustworthy. And ultimately, this figure ends up piloting the craft that helps them escape. And then actually, this android sacrifices themselves so that Ripley and the girl can get away, right? And so that opposition between the first film and the second one is actually a really lovely moment, because we get to see that um, Ripley changes just a little bit in her perception of who androids are. She distrusts all of them, and then she comes to trust this one because this one saves her and the girl, and actually ends up sacrificing itself to be able to enable Ripley to go off and get the machine that ends up taking out the final alien. So that's it. I loved this second film. It was bigger for me, and it was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful ride. And because I was able to attach more closely to Ripley and Newt, who's the little girl, um, my movement, my emotional response, the feelings that I had were much greater when people were walking down a dark hall, for example. Um, when the swarm of aliens ran, and we saw on the radar that it's actually, it's not one or two, it's actually hundreds of aliens. Um, I could more deeply feel the risk that these individuals were taking. And that intensified this film for me. I hope that you go see it. It is totally worth it, in my opinion. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. Thanks.